This is Mr. Mugweri. He lives in a small village outside of Kamuli, which is in Uganda. Kamuli is about half the size of Burlington, 20,000 people or so. His life's difficult. Some tough things been happening to him, at least when you're looking at this picture. He has an affliction, a small parasite called jiggers, which kind of gets into your toenails and fingernails, elbows, kneecaps. And his house, as you could see, is not in the best of condition. This is Josephine. She's a social worker in this area. You can tell she's a force, and when she asks for something, you usually say yes. And she's very involved in much of the village life around Kamuli. And she's recruited, and these are Mr. Mugweri's fellow villagers, very interested in making sure that Mr. Mugweri has a better life. Things have been going badly for him, and these people are ready. They're kind, generous, and ready to go. This is Prasi on the left, the young woman in the blue shirt. She's sort of our fixer over there. She can do just about anything here. She's buying some new clothes and a bed for Mr. Mugweri. She's part of a small foundation that we work with. So with all those villagers and a few of us, we started to fix some things. We really had to get Mr. Mugweri out of that house. It was in rough shape. We put an orange tarpaulin over it to really keep the worst of the weather out of it. And you can see the yard is a little misshapen. We started to clean that up. It was really nice. There were about 40 villagers that really jumped into this task. You pretty much burn clothing. In order to get rid of this parasite, you redo the floor inside the house. A lot of work in the yard. And all of these people were very committed to making things better for their neighbor. We dug a new pit latrine. That's pretty much the sewer system of choice in this particular remote area. And Mr. Mugweri himself also needed some medical treatment. And I was amazed at how willingly he let those close to him deal with some of the very private issues. This is a medical worker who came to administer a kind of disinfectant bath that went on for probably about 16 weeks, where you really sort of take parts of the body and immerse it. This is not a pleasant talk, is it? Anyway, this really does solve the problem over time, especially if you match it up with, cleaning of Mr. Mugweri's house. He's only 35 years old. So this gets me, that's not him. This gets me to the next part. Josephine, I told you she was kind of a forceful lady. She turned at one point and said to me, well, Rolf, do you think we can repair Mr. Mugweri's house? I'm an architect, but I don't really know so much about that kind of construction. But Ivan was the builder that we recruited, a cousin or something, and he was, we asked him that question, can we repair this house? And he didn't hesitate at all. He said, no, Mr. Mugweri needs a new house, a new brick house. So I had a little book with me. I did some quick drawings. Ivan took the drawings. He leaned up against a tree because we asked him what the new house was going to cost. And he came back and he said, it's going to be 2 million shillings, which you do the quick math, it's about $506. And some friends and I, we got together and we said, okay, we'll pool our resources. And we said, okay, to Ivan, go ahead. And as you could see, in no time whatsoever, the bricks were there that afternoon. There wasn't any time wasted. Sand showed up. Brick is sort of the material of choice in this part of the world. It's a pretty sturdy material. A lot of clay in the ground, and it's easy to manufacture the brick, although it's kind of soft. Fortunately, living on the equator is not like living in Vermont. When you dig a foundation, you only go down a foot or so. And this is the beginnings of that foundation. Ivan had a squad of 2 other people who were helping him. So here we're starting to mix the sand, the cement, small bits of gravel, and we're starting to build the foundation. You can see that on the lower left. And these guys worked very hard. You can see there were some interim shots, but I only had 20. The house, you know, it went up fairly quickly. It's kind of an interesting method of building with brick. You can see the window openings. They pour a kind of concrete lintel over it, and then there's a little ventilation opening. So here the house is pretty much complete. The roof is just purlins, wood, with corrugated metal. This is Mr. Mugweri in the blue shirt, second from the right, along with the building squad. And we're getting ready to move a new bed, clothes, and so forth into Mr. Mugweri's new house. And this is Mr. Mugweri. He doesn't always look happy. He's kind of shy, but he was very happy. And Josephine was very happy. The entire village was very happy. And I couldn't wait to get back to Vermont and tell some of my builder friends about the house that we built in 3 days for under $5 a square foot. And what the heck was the matter with them?